we're getting close to the end of the school year. We have roughly 40 days or so left, and it's time to start discussing your attendance and how it will impact your ability to get credit for your courses or to exempt exams.
In Title 59 of the South Carolina Code of Laws, there are regulations requiring the number of seat time hours required to achieve a South Carolina High School Carnegie unit or a credit. This particular slide highlights what the state legislature defines as a lawful or unlawful absence. In either case, at LDHS, this means you are only allowed 5 days of either type of absence for a semester-based course or 3 days for a 9 weeks or quarterly based course.
The next series of slides are pertaining to FAs and how you can avoid them. If you do receive an FA at the end of this semester, the only way you can make that up is by attending summer school. If you're a senior, you really want to avoid that.
This slide highlights all of the absence codes that the state of South Carolina requires to be made up in order to not count against you. If you open your Power School and notice one of these codes on an absence, add it all together, they cannot equal more than 5 for a semester course or 3 for a 9 weeks course. This is where many of you ran into trouble during the first semester and you did not recover enough days, and therefore you failed due to attendance. These codes are a nurse visit, COVID, medical, flu, parent note, religious, out-of-school suspension, bereavement. Skip is a code that you cannot recover because that indicates that you skipped a class and you were held accountable for that also in a disciplinary matter. If you have EX or UNEX, which is excused or unexcused, it still must be made up in order to not count against you. If you open up your Power School and see any of these 5 codes on a class that you missed, rest assured that these are 5 codes that you don't have to make up and they will not count against you. That's if you have a principal-approved absence, if you are homebound, if you've been on a field trip, if you took a college visit, or if you've been taking one of our standardized tests required by the district.
This next slide is about how you can exempt final assessments.
Okay, folks, let's make sure we're clear on the final assessment exemption policy. On the day of your final assessment, if you have the grade of an A in that course and no more than 5 absences that are not recovered, and that goes 3 for government or econ, which are semester-based courses, then you should be able to exempt your final assessment. If you have the grade of B and you have no absences or all of those absences have been recovered, then you have the ability to exempt that final assessment. This does not apply to the EOC. The EOC is required by the state. If you've got any ISS for a course or any OSS, sorry guys, you are not eligible to exempt.
This next slide is about attendance recovery options.
This next part applies to all of our LDHS students. The best way to avoid an FA or failure on attendance in the second semester, which can only be made up in summer school, is to avoid being absent at all or make them up immediately as we go along. This is very important for you seniors if you have any intentions on walking across the stage in late May. If an absence that is required to be made up is unavoidable, this is the best means of recovery. You can see that we have after-school sessions in which you can make up 2 periods. For those of you that have late arrival, you can come in early and make up your time. Or if you have early dismissal, stay in the attendance office and make that up. Do not put yourself in a situation where you're scrambling at the end of the semester to do attendance recovery. Last semester, there were portions of that when we had up to 400 students at a time staying in the lecture theater to try to make up attendance. That is untenable and very difficult to manage, not only for administrators, but for teachers and the attendance office as well. Okay, folks, very important dates here. May the 1st, which is not that far away, this is your exam exemption deadline for all those UNEX or any other things that must be recovered. Every absence after 5 must be recovered if you want to be able to exempt those exams, and that deadline needs to be May the 1st. On May the 9th is another important one. This is the FA deadline. Every absence after 5, and of course, when I speak about 5, I'm also talking about the 3 for government or econ, they have to be recovered in order to avoid the FA. Seniors, take a very close look at these 2 dates because they move a whole lot faster for you and there isn't any wiggle room for you guys.
If you have any questions about attendance, go back and watch this video again or contact your administrator. Please don't put yourself in a situation where you are scrambling and stressing at the end of the semester to get your attendance taken care of. Do it now. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful end of the semester, and go Raiders.